What is up, Sports Card Wild West Marketplace? Happy October 1st. I hope you all are doing well. Let me first of all just say I wanted to put this video together because I wanted to give a kind of an update on what's going on with my channel. I know I posted a video of taking a little break. Just had a lot of things going on. I was burning out, man. And I'll get to that in a moment. So I wanted to give a channel update. I also wanted to open up this. I decided I'd do this live so I could take any questions and answers should anybody pop in. I know it's a 6 o'clock Friday, and a lot of people aren't going to probably be on right now. But hey, you can leave chat later on or post a question. I'll answer that later on. But I just wanted to get on, kind of share some thoughts. Super excited about it being October, and also give some of my feedback. So just so much going on in the hobby, and I can't be quiet. So let me first of all start by saying I decided that I'm just tired of it's not doing daily content because I love doing daily content. I was tired of putting together sports card daily content. Hey, what's up, 3B Collection? So I decided to take a break and really focus on what I'm enjoying, which right now, to be honest, really is the NFT world. Sports cards, I really like sports cards. I'm still involved in sports cards, but not as much. And I'm more skeptical than I am positive. So I didn't want to just be kind of a naysayer. I just thought I'd step away from the sports cards and watch and kind of see what's going to go on. Now, again, I do have some comments on some of this stuff. Like I definitely want to comment about the Fanatics videos, give my opinion on what's going on with sports cards and grading and so forth. But I will just say, I just really have just gotten, I don't know, I've just gotten frustrated with sports cards in the sports card world, I think. Um, and maybe other people have too. I kind of understand that, but I like it. I like the people. I like the community. So you just saw I changed my channel name to I think it's Sports Collectibles, hosted by Ziggy. Now I'm not going to give daily content on this channel. I will be putting out some content. In fact, to be honest, I've been working on some comedy content that I'm going to be putting out pretty soon. That's another thing I thought about. Is I kind of want to go back to something funny and fun and lighthearted. So again, I really appreciate all my subscribers. I really appreciate everybody who does check out the channel and does reach out and say, "Hey, what's going on?" So I'm going to be putting out some comedy content. In fact, I just watched. I've been binge watching Sopranos. If you guys are Soprano fans, I watched Sopranos when I was, when I was younger, and been rewatching them now. I'll just leave it at that. I got a video coming out with Sopranos. So, um, let's talk a little bit about what's going on, and I'll talk a little bit more about what's coming up next. Okay, Fanatics, direct to consumer. So, let me say, when I got into the hobby, or back in the hobby in 2015-16, I think what really shocked me was how difficult it was to get product that you wanted. And what I mean by that, I remember coming to the hobby, and at the time I was making a good living, had my sons. I had this kind of feeling if I just wanted to buy something, you should be able to buy it. And the one thing I learned about the hobby was it wasn't that way. Like just because you had money didn't mean you could necessarily get it, right? It had to be allocated. You had to know the right person, the right store. It was weird. I mean, I know everybody's like, "Oh, money can buy anything." It could, but it wasn't. It wasn't like, "Hey, could I pre-order this?" Well, let me see if I can allocate it. Let me see if I have allocations to get free of the pre-order. That was bizarre to me. Does that make sense? Like, you go to your local card store and say, "Hey, can I order a box of the next blah 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 blah?" And they go, "Well, let me see if I have any allocated for you." Like, what do you mean? Do you have any allocated? Can't you just tell the company you want to order a box for your customer? And that model doesn't exist in current sports cards, right? Think about that, right? You can't go in and pre-order to your local card store a box of whatever the hell you want because the local card store has to be allocated that product. And what they'll often tell you, and this would bother me, well, if I'm going to get that Prism for you, you're willing to buy a box of this hoops from me, Ziggy? And I'd be like, well, I don't really want freaking hoops. Well, if you buy a box of hoops, I can get you a box of the pre-order Prism. I didn't like that. Kind of like I was like being told like buy I don't know, something I didn't want. So to me, early on, that bothered me. And I will say, I think early on when I was in the hobby, what also bothered me, I felt like the reason that existed, the reason this weird, and I'm going to say felt corrupt, unorganic channel system existed was because there was no competition, right? Panini had their little fiefdom, Topps had their fiefdom, and I started looking at these little walls, and it seemed to me the hobby was very siloed. It's one of the most siloed industries I've ever seen in my life, right? Very, very siloed, and each silo has its own hookups and it's its own what they call good old boy networks, even though it's a generic term. Not everybody's necessarily old or a boy in these networks, but I'll use that term anyway. So with what Fanatics is doing, or proposing to do, or what is we are speculating they're going to do, in my opinion, sounds freaking unbelievably wonderful as a collector slash buyer of the cards. You know what I mean by collector? Like I buy them and I sell the ones I don't like so I can buy more cards I like, right? So as a collector slash investor, whatever you would call me, that sounds great. That means to me is that in the future, I'm going to be able to go to one place and go, hey, I'd like to buy some basketball cards. Oh, the shiny ones are this called this. Great. I'd like to buy a case of the shiny ones. I can pre-order that. Great. Oh, it costs this much. I didn't pre-order. Great. I'll buy a case of the shiny ones, and I'll be able to get that. And I don't deal with any garbage that I feel like I'm dealing with today. Does that make sense? I really feel like in the future, as a consumer, things will be better, right? And I guess when I listen to everybody who complains about what's going to happen to distributors, what's going to happen to local card stores, first question I have is I don't understand why we have distributors. I don't. I haven't heard anybody logically explain to me what the purpose is of a sports card distributor. And if anybody would like to, please go for it, man. I'd love to hear that because I just don't understand that. Like, do we have distributors for other things in the world? I mean, I know we do, but they're not like this. I just don't get it. Like, why do we have a sports card distributor? What value does GTS or Southern or these Peachtree, what these guys, what value do they offer? Right now, there's such a demand that the manufacturer can just make the product and they can sell the product. They can sell the product to any manufacturer or any retailer they want to right now. They can sell direct to the consumers through the online presence and stuff. They can have people paying extra for shipping and they'll buy memberships. There's so much demand that they're willing to do it to get to the product, right? And I know people are like, well, distributors were there in the day and we're need them in the future. I don't think we will. I don't think we need them. I really think we've evolved as an industry where we don't need them. And again, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I like some of the people, some of the distributors. I'm not trying to scare you until your job's over, but your job might be over. I mean, I don't see reason. Now, local card stores, I'll tell you this too. I think that those local card stores who aren't innovative, who depend on allocations that were grandfathered in, they should be concerned, right? I think they need to think about a business plan, right? I can't tell you how many you'll find these local card stores who are in an area where their store business is dead, right? It's scary to walk into. No one cares. They don't care. It's musty because they've got allocations and they're probably selling those allocations off on Facebook groups for more than enough money they need to keep their business going. I don't know. Maybe they're a front. I just don't know what the reason is for that, right? So when people say, oh man, local card stores are going to go under, I don't think the local card stores are going to go under. I think they need to be innovative, right? In fact, here's what I think they should do. I think what local card stores should do is they should look at kind of franchising, maybe co-ownership, not unionizing, but working together as a team. Like if I was in a university, I'd work with other universities, build a consortium, build a Facebook community maybe of sports cards local stores where you can share inventory and share customer demands and the needs, right? So, for example, if I'm up in Ohio State, right, card collector too, and a guy comes with a bunch of Florida State stuff, I can call my friend down in the Florida State store and say, hey, we get a bunch of Florida State stuff. I'll get it down to you, right? I think you need to think about that type of modeling, sharing that economies of scale of the local card store, right? Being innovative on the breaking, the buying, pulling it all together. I think again, for me as a consumer, these are all good things. Like I'm excited about what Fanatics is going to bring. I do see some comments here. Woo, I got 7 people in some comments. And one's from Bobbles. I really like Bobbles. There's distributors for more. Let me just pull this up so people, for more than you realized. There's distributors for more than you realize. Hell, Amazon itself is essentially a large. No, I agree, and that's what I'm saying. I even use distributors in my business. That's something I understand the reason for it, but in this business, I don't see a reason for sports card distributors anymore. Like, what value do they have? The argument I heard in the past was distributors have to manage the product because sometimes a company makes bad products, and distributors help manage the flow of what those products are, which basically translates into sometimes they make crappy products and they force the buyers to buy the good products in order to get the good products. That's what I understand, right? Which to me, my whole point is this is counterintuitive to a free market where if the consumers say, hey, this product sucks, then it sucks and they shouldn't make it anymore. So one of the arguments would be like Hoops, which everybody blew up on last year, right? During the pandemic, everybody's like, oh, Hoops, man, it's the best thing, man. It's an original OG card, man. Yeah, Michael Jordan's got Hoops cards. Well, look, honestly, Hoops would have been discontinued years ago had the product been allowed to be discontinued by the consumers not having any interest in it, right? Am I wrong? You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see a reason for a distributor. Here's another one. Example, I work in manufacturing. We have components of hardware that go through multiple levels. Yeah, but again, that's different because that's because it's unfinished product too. That's another thing the distributors are used for, right? A distributor is often used because you're looking for somebody who can add value to the sale through a value-added reseller, right? So in sports cards, what's the value that the distributor is offering? You know what I'm saying? Like they're taking a box from point A to point B. They're not even doing the breaking, the grading, the sorting, the shipping. Those are value-added resources, right? I'm saying if we just cut the distributors out of the market and you went straight from manufacturer to breaker, manufacturer to local card store, manufacturer to value-added person, whether it's person who rips and grades, that's different. But the distributor, they're just sitting there, take box from one place, move box to this place, right? That's it. I just don't see the value there. And I know Bobbles, like I said, I really like your perspective. And again, I understand distribution. So again, sad to say, I really look forward to these changes because here's what I think is going to happen. It's going to come down to quantity and quality and quantity purchasing, right? So for example, I feel like there'll be an Eastern regional manager who run the Fanatics business, right? And he'll sell products in bulk for bulk discounts area. So for example, if I wanted to get in a good deal, I have to find somebody who's getting a big, good bulk purchase, right? So maybe I know my local card store. So yeah, I get you a deal if you pre-order. See, that just seems like a more natural flow of business. I don't know. And then like if a bad product comes out, so here's another cool thing. With Fanatics being one kind of throat to choke, if Fanatics makes a bad product, two things I'm going to tell you real quickly. Don't buy the product. Let the product fail. Okay, let's not just pick it up. Let's let the product fail. And there won't be any competition to compete with it. Like, it will suck, so let it suck. Also, if it sucks, give their feedback to the players, right? Because the players are sitting on or have influence on these what is it? The players associations, which are involved in Fanatics now, or in this consortium. So let the players know through tweets like every time you pull a bad card that's if you, for example, I'm going frantic here. Mahomes has a lot of those print lines. Every time you pull a Mahomes Silver Prism with a print line, you should tag the manufacturer. Fanatics, too bad you ruined another great Mahomes rookie. So that way, Fanatics manufacturers are going to hear from Mahomes, his agent, what the hell's going on with my fans and their cards? You see what I'm saying? I think that's a phenomenal thing. Today, that won't happen because Mahomes doesn't care what Panini's doing. But if Mahomes is part of, the player association is part of Fanatics in the future, that means we have great pull. We have a voice for the first time in the hobby. I'm talking way too much about this. Okay. Doing markup stuff. I got the markup. I understand, sir. What's up, Ziggy? What's up, Steven Speaks? Always great to have you, man. Thanks for coming. Mosaic used to be required product to get access to other products. Well, actually, time out. Remember, it wasn't Mosaic. It was that other product. I think it was in 2015. Wasn't there a product they screwed up on? And they gave Mosaic to the people they screwed up. I want to call it like Replay or something like that. Prism Replay. I don't recall. Because the first Mosaic, if I'm not mistaken, Bobbles, you correct me if I'm wrong, I think was Mosaic with Simmons in it. And they gave that because the Mosaic the year before with, I think was KAT, they screwed up and they made, I forget what it was. So Prism Mosaic standalone product, which is an insert product, came out as a Forgive Me product because I screwed up the previous year to people who bought it from Panini, and it was Simmons' first year. And then the next year came out was Lonzo Ball Prism Mosaic, and that actually sat on the shelf for a while. That did not sell out right away. And same thing with the even Luka's Mosaic Prism. That product sat on the shelf. It did not sell it right away. Right? Both those products didn't do well. It wasn't until Zion year. The Zion year is the first year that anything basketball sold out. It didn't make a difference. Like anything college, anything had a basketball logo from Panini sold out. Made no difference. I could be wrong on that, but correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, card shops are the thing of the past. Honestly, why can't I get cheaper through the show on the why when I can get it cheaper? I don't disagree. So here's my one comment. I don't want to upset people who I have heard passionately say, well, people like to hang out in the card shops. There are. I agree with you. But I will also tell you this. Those people who hang out in the card shops are a minor part of the business of the card shop, right? And they are important to the business. So what I think is going to happen is you're going to see more franchising, card shop, coffee shop-like environments, right? Collectible-like environments. A store that's going to sell Fanatics and Pokemon, and it's going to sell coffee and Danishes at the same place, right? Because I do think that that community. I think it's also that office space in general are moving to more of this open cafe-like atmosphere, right? So I think that will happen. So I do agree with you. I think today local card shops are thing of the past. I also say this, and I don't mean this to upset people, but 2 out of 3 of the card shops that are around today, physical card shops, are going to go under in the next 24 months, regardless of Fanatics. They just shouldn't have been in place, right? Too many grew up in the last few years on this boom. And it was the same thing as the 90s. And I don't know why people didn't see that. Like, you don't open a physical store with overhead and lease in a boom. It is one of the worst decisions to make. It's like if restaurants start booming, it feels like, oh, maybe we signed a 2-year lease for a restaurant because everybody's buying restaurant food. Mistake. It's a bad mistake. Bad mistake. Sorry. And I hope I'm wrong for many of you, but I don't think I am. And what's going to happen there too is big franchises, say like that Coffee Breakers, they're going to come in and wipe out those local card stores because when they can't pay their bills, they're going to buy that inventory cheap. They're going to buy their allocations away from them in the next few years. It's going to get brutal in that industry, in my opinion. Agreed distribution methods should change. It has to change. And this is a good thing for consumers. So you cannot tell me there's anything bad about that. I was just listening to Breaker Culture guys, and they were talking about it. And their concern was with this not being available to collectors and being very investor driven. I do want to comment on that in a moment because I empathize with it. I think one of the biggest problems Fanatics going to have, okay, I'll tell you right now, why Fanatics will be in trouble is they are projecting these numbers of growth based on the numbers of the past few years, which anybody who's been in this industry for more than 5 years will know are the best numbers in the history of the industry, right? So it's kind of like if I went in 1998 and 99 and said, look, I'm looking at the .com time and go, man, by 2020, we're going to be $20 billion. And I don't take into effect the bubble popping in 2000, right? When tech companies really they had the little blip. That same blip's going to happen in sports cards, right? Sports cards aren't going to continue to boom like $1 billion industry. In fact, one of the things that I thought was great about CNBC, the guy pressed him on, where do you come up with this $10 billion valuation, right? Because the assumed valuation of all the manufacturers is let's just go ahead and guess $1 billion. I think they said $1 billion. Let's go ahead and guess $2 billion, which is not actual reality. If I'm taking every manufacturer card, the price from the card being manufactured, the sale price, not the aftermarket stuff, right? Fanatics is looking at the aftermarket and feeling they can capture the aftermarket. That's a fallacy. Okay, a lot of the aftermarket was created recently. It's not going to be there in the future. Also, people are getting very wise to it. Even right now, we realize a lot of that is overprinted. And there's too much of this retail and junk product right now. So the consumer appetite's not going to be there in the future for this aftermarket. So again, they projected that, hey, a box of Prisms $20, but in the aftermarket it's $100. They took that same calculation and extrapolated that for 10 years, right? And that is the problem where they're going to fail. They should look at their numbers. They should base their numbers on 2010, 2015, some of those numbers in the hobby year, and calculate where the hobby will be in the future. And that's why Fanatics is going to struggle, because they're not going to get the billions of dollars of revenue. Now, I don't think they're going to fail because they can go back to the player associations and say, hey, we're going to move it this way. I also think where they're going to make more money will be in other things like the jerseys, the autograph, the memorabilia, because cards are just a part of that, right? There's a lot of money in that memorabilia space and even in the NFT space too. Oh man, I'm just chit chat. I had some notes here too, man. I wanted to get to. Where are my notes? Make sure I see I'm staying on my notes here. Direct to I think one thing that could eliminate distributors, the following Fanatics control distribution. See favoritism. Yeah, I think you could see favoritism. Well, do you think you don't see favoritism today in current allocation? I totally think you see favoritism. That's what bothers me. There's no oversight. I think there's total favoritism. I'm going to check Walmart on Sunday, provided I still have money left. I've checked, and I'll tell you, I have seen some products, but nothing I like. Nothing I'd want to get. Welcome back, Ziggy. Good to see you again. Hey, man, I can't. And you're right. It is in my blood. I just can't. Or I've decided just to update everybody. I'm not going to be doing daily content on this channel. I'm going to start putting out some comedy content. I might start kicking around a weekly show. I'll tell you, for me, work-wise, September is a busy month for me. The holiday season is going to be a little challenging as well. So I'm thinking maybe a weekly show or something like that. But yeah, I'm back. I just love this freaking content world too much. LCS depends on wax sales. Will adapt or die. Yep, absolutely. I think there's only one shop near me. Dude does card shows all over the internet. Yep. That's grading it resell. That's grading race. I think what's interesting was Fanatics' comments about grading, and you got to assume, like, isn't everybody assuming it's CSG because there's that mutual investment thing there with CSG? And I guess part of me likes it's like watching two big giants fight each other. Like I'm not a big fan of the PSA Collectors Universe consortium that's been created, and now you got the Fanatics monster coming up. I will say, again, like I said, I've been spending a lot of time in my NFT world, and I really, really dig the NFT world, but it is a different world than sports cards. There is very little crossover. I'll tell you that. There really is. I think there's the real crossover is the gambling aspect or the risk aspect, right? It's kind of like saying I don't think there's people who collect Beanie Babies are the same people who are going to collect sports cards, right? There's not the same crossover there all the time. Let me see. Where's some other things I want to talk about? So I will say I'm putting out really daily content on my NFT channel. If you want to follow that, and again, it's really my experience into NFTs, what I'm seeing from the projects, and again, I'm very brutally honest about what I'm learning in that world. Um, I am, like I said, this weekend. It is a beautiful fall weekend. Really is beautiful. I'm gonna take the dogs out for a hike here shortly. Um, Going to see my sons play football tomorrow. Sunday, I'm gonna do some football, make some videos. So I should have some funny videos out for everybody. Some card shows coming up. I'm really excited about putting out some better, just more quality content. I will still be doing low budget. I do like Groot, 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 Groot. Sandy, it's a deer. You can't catch deer. Let me just read the last few comments, then I'm gonna probably just shut this off because I don't like to do it too long. 20 minutes is a good update. Hold on, I'm gonna pause this. Bobbles, I don't disagree with you. It seems like that, right? Doesn't it? It seems like that. My partner with Nance Group, who's got golden PSA and covers all three. Yeah, but I don't think they would do PSA. I'll be honest, dude. I would like for them to pick CSG. I mean, I'm SCG. If they picked anybody, I think they've been doing a lot of business and they're doing really well. Real quickly, guys, come on, CSG registry. How super exciting is that news? I totally forgot about that news. I am super excited about that, and I'm telling you why. Because if they do that well, and they had some cool prizes with that, and Fanatics, right? Like for example, I put together a set and I get like an autographed Brady jersey. Come on, man. So I will tell you, I'm already working on my first set to send into CSG for set registry, and I've done nothing with CSG yet. And it's going to be, for me, it's going to be soccer, the Bowman soccer set, the MLS Bowman soccer set. I'm planning to submit that to CSG. It's only, I think, a 100 card set. The other set I'm thinking about submitting, damn, I just sold one of those freaking cards, though. Ah, man, I had a few sets that are 100 card sets that I'd like to do. But I'm super excited about CSG's set registry. Really excited. Ruben has part ownership of Sixers and Devils. Yes, it does. It does. And the apparel, yeah, yep. David and Blowout in Steel City are. I agree, man. It's funny. You come into the hobby with these three companies, and they used to be. I thought they used to be decent. I've used all three of them. I wouldn't use any one of them right now as a first choice, and they're probably the ones most likely to have things change. Other ones that are, I think, going to have change are going to be some of the big breakers, right? And I think there should be a shakeup. I won't even lie to you, dude. I really do. Like, I don't. I'm not knocking the big breakers. And here's what I hate hearing. Oh man, I'm sweat blood for years building this business, and they're taking away my allocations. Dude, everybody's life changes and work in some way. Okay, we all have to adapt. Don't tell me about that. Is adapt because some of the breakers, without giving any names, in my opinion, have been very lazy and very arrogant with their position in the market, right? So I definitely look forward to seeing that changing, that reckoning coming. And again, don't cry for any of them. It's not like any of them go out of business and be poor. Okay, they've all got tons of money. They've got tons of product they've been hoarding as well in the back. They're going to be overcharging us for years. None of them are going to be going out of business or bankrupt. I'll put it that way. None of these companies will you see bankrupt. Okay, so don't feel pity for them. And an entirely new grading company. That could be the case. You're right. It could be. I think it'd be hard to establish the credibility of a new grading company. To me, it would make sense to be SCG or CSG. Both of them are really, really well established as far as they have history, heritage. You know, I think I also think Fanatics has been very quiet on the NFT front, man. I really do, because the NFT world is blowing up. And where it's also taken off is in the redemption NFT world, or the viral NFT world, which is basically you get an NFT, you turn it in for a physical item like Funkos. Fanatics is perfect for this, man. Like, you could buy in, like right now you buy into a box of Fanatics, or I'm sorry, if you're buying a box of Panini and you get the blockchain card. Well, instead of getting a blockchain card that's for what you would call a worthless NFT, what if you got a redemption card for a Tom Brady autographed jersey, sent to your house, framed? Ha! People would be killing for that stuff, man. You see what I'm saying? So I think and I just think there's gonna be big movement there. Big movement there. Don't book a cheap hotel. Book an expensive hotel. Okay, I'll book expensive. Just put limits on what you purchase and send on your address to an address. Those freaking bots. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. Well, guys, that's all I want to chit chat about. Just kind of give you a quick update. Like I said, nothing super special coming on the channel. I did change the daily content name. I took that out of the name today or yesterday because this will not be daily content moving forward. I love the daily stuff. I'll be putting out a lot of daily content in general. I did try doing the weights and sports cards. That really just is killing me. I'm just not. I'm so fat and lazy. But I will see what comes with that one. I might get that channel going again. But you will see again a lot of my NFT channel content on Ziggy Knows NFTs. And I will be back on more content on this channel in the future. And I will be doing more collaborations with people, having people on the channel to talk. And again, the channel will be talking about collectibles in the future. So if you got anything going out there, let me know. Thank you all for joining your time. I really appreciate the community. It is a great place. Stay safe, stay healthy, treat people the way you want to be treated.